Standard Bank says today that it had lost about 300 million rand, just about $19 million, in a card fraud incident in Japan. Now, the perpetrators apparently used counterfeit cards to withdraw cash from automatic teller machines. The bank said in a statement that its South African operations suffered the losses, not its customers, and that the authorities had been alerted. It was not clear when the fraud took place, and officials at the bank were not available to comment. Let's get an update on this. Angelo Coppola now joins us in Johannesburg. Angelo, welcome to the show. Now, give us some insight into how serious this breach is and, of course, the impact it will have on the company's bottom line.
Well, the bottom line here is, as you know, 100 people used forged Standard Bank credit cards. They withdrew around 1.4 billion yen from 1,400 ATMs in Tokyo and 16 prefectures in 3 hours. So it's not the first time that this technique has been used. In 2012, a group of hackers coordinated some 7,500 ATM withdrawals using cloned bank cards, and from a different financial institution, of course, and they netted around $70 billion. For Standard Bank, though, it's unclear whether the bank has insurance to cover this type of one-time fraud on this kind of scale. And if they aren't covered, it's likely to have an impact on the bottom line of the group. We're not sure how significant yet, but 200 million rand is a sizable amount. It's unlikely, though, that there'll be any provisions in place for this single amount of fraud, though.
Now, Angela, how are Standard Bank's customers reacting to these news? Are there serious concerns right now about the bank's security standards?
Well, everyone's a little anxious. I'm a bank client, and my immediate reaction was to go and check my transactions. And then I heard that the fraud had actually taken place on the 15th of May. So I relaxed a little bit, because generally those international transactions only reflect in local bank and credit card accounts a couple of days after the event. But what's interesting is that Standard Bank didn't say a word about the fraud until the Japanese news agency broke the story late last night, local time. And then they reacted with a very terse statement saying that the bank took the loss and that no customers were affected.
Well, Angela, have we heard anything more about how the authorities in Japan are handling the situation? Because this is a Pan-African ban under attack in Japan. Tell us a bit more about that.
Well, at the moment, there's no more news coming out of the Japanese authorities other than what was announced yesterday or last night. We understand that the Japanese authorities believe that those 1,600 credit cards were forged and that data may have been hacked from South African sources. It could have been a third-party server. We're not quite sure on the detail there just yet. Japanese authorities are saying that they're working with South African authorities via Interpol. That's what we know for now. The authorities also plan to use and view video footage at the ATMs, because those ATMs were located mainly, we understand, in 7-Eleven convenience stores. And that's why the hackers and their associates could actually get into and withdraw those amounts of money in such a short space of time.
Well, thank you so much, Angelo, of course, for that update. Angelo Coppola joining us in Johannesburg. Now.